For Nashvillians and many in the mid-state, he was a voice of reason during the pandemic. For others, he was the face of government overreach and overreaction. Now, more than 2 years into this COVID fight, Dr. Alex Jahangir talks to me about his new book, chronicling the journey.
Thank you, Mayor Cooper, and good morning, Nashville.
Dr. Alex Jahangir was front and center during the mid-state's darkest days with COVID.
If you can't offload hospitals for more sick patients, after a while that backs up.
What is vital is for everyone to wear a mask, keep our distance, and keep strong.
When does this end? I think that's where people feel so much uncertainty.
What you need to see is a constant several-week drop in our curve.
Rough guess.
Yeah.
Since the pandemic started, how many interviews do you think that you have done?
I would say over 700-800.
Not always an easy role for this trauma surgeon.
We are rapidly increasing the number.
That's not an answer. Sir, let him answer the question. No, I've asked the question.
The second ever press conference was that Friday, and it went horribly.
Let me explain why this answer is not as straightforward as I believe you were hoping for, and I'm hoping for, frankly.
And I remember leaving that room saying, what the heck have I gotten myself into?
But one press conference turned into many more. And Jahangir, the chair of the Board of Health, took on a new role, a volunteer one at that, to guide the city's pandemic response.
Yes, of course, there is that quote-unquote imposter syndrome of, I'm not the infectious disease doctor. Like, why am I leading this response? But I think most of us would probably say that this response wasn't an infectious disease response in isolation. It was a crisis management response.
In his new book, Hotspot, a doctor's diary from the pandemic, Jahangir writes of his 3 marching orders from Mayor Cooper.
I always want you to be honest with me, want the science to drive it, and be transparent with the public.
It's a directive he feels he lived up to in what has been a very long, uncharted journey, one that did not come without critics and even some close calls. In his book, he writes of receiving an award for his leadership from the Nashville Convention and Visitors Corps, to only be berated and chased from a Nashville bar by its owner on the very same night.
He felt liberated to take his verbal statements and get really angry and try to throw me out of the bar and follow me out in the parking lot.
Jahangir says he recognizes the pain caused by this pandemic and freely admits there were mistakes made, particularly around allocating resources and outreach efforts.
I think we could have done better initially around our New American community to provide some of the resources that maybe could have early on prevented some of the morbidity and mortality that happened in that community.
As Jahangir guided the city's COVID response, he never stepped away from the operating room. He says it's where he feels most at ease. It's also where he learned a truth among surgeons: all bleeding stops. And he believes, as far as the virus, the bleeding has stopped, and like all of us, is now looking to the future.
It is really neat to be able to really feel like you've made a difference in the world in which you live in. Like, it is really cool. And so, yeah, I think that
this will shape your journey ahead.
Yeah, without a question.
And Vicki, this book started with a journal that he kept, just jotted down experience and notes throughout that first year of the pandemic. He thought someday his daughters may like to read it. Clearly, it's developed into something more with the book, which, by the way, Hotspot is available for pre-order, should come out in September.
Now, all bleeding stops. That's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot lately. And as you heard him say, Dr. Jahangir believes the worst of the virus is behind us, but he thinks the bleeding that continues is the way that we have come to treat each other and perhaps not trust science.
This is true.
It was a good interview.
All right, thank you. It was a good interview.
Yeah, thank you.